Hello, welcome. So today we're starting a new city, the city of Oxford, in the Mountain Village map. Now you can see here this very little playable area compared to some of the other maps. So we're going to have to be quite smart and make the most of the area that we do have to build in. So we get this small square to start with. So we've got a little bridge coming off the highway over the river, and then we've got a train line here which I think we'll need to make quite good use of, and that's where our power lines come in as well. Obviously, first things, we need some water, and we'll place the water pump down first, and then do the sewerage one slightly further down. Don't have much choice in terms of polluting this river from the start, but that'll be something we look to fix later on. And then our time lapse the next part, we'll just go through and lay out some of the basic roads, and then we'll come back and go through some more details. So that's most of our basic road layout done to begin with. Now we need to sort out some power. Go with the usual start of just throwing down a transformer, and we'll import our power. It doesn't quite fit in that gap I've left between the road and the train line, so I'll just place it in slightly. And then rather than waste more space with the overground pylons, we'll do some underground wiring just to connect the two things up. And then we are ready to start zoning some of the areas. So I think we'll go all residential, kind of this side of that main road that goes through, except for what's adjacent to that road. That'll be either side of the road lining commercial buildings, and then right at the top we'll look at just focusing on industrial. Now fortunately the wind is blowing in the right direction, so it's not going to blow all that pollution straight back to our beginning town. Yeah, I think we'll fit slightly more industrial here. We don't need too much to begin with because we'll struggle with the amount of residential, but we need this to build now, so I'll time lapse it. Now that should get us pretty close to, there we go, leveling up, and we'll get our first development point. There isn't much we can really do with just one, quite limited in our options, and it would be good to get something that might save some more space. So I think if we go for the crematorium, probably the ideal place to spend this first point. And then obviously we've unlocked 3 more squares. Probably still a bit too early to start worrying about expanding our zone when we've not filled this in yet. So we'll probably come back to that in another session. So we need more residential though. Obviously we'll unlock the row housing. So if we try and put some down in here, and the problem we have with the row housing is it doesn't necessarily look very good when they don't all align properly. So I think what I'm going to do here is actually take a bit more time, maybe place them in a better space. Now this square is actually a bit too big compared to how long the row houses will go, so they typically only go up to 4. So if I slide these in a slightly different angle, like that, and then fill in this block, we should end up with a nice pattern. And I think we're going to end up with quite a big green space in the middle. It'd probably be best if we could try and leave some of that, the gaps on either side, to draw a path in, and then maybe have a small park kind of in the center for the residents there. I'll just get rid of that one because I only spawned a 2 length, and there's one on the corner that didn't spawn the white way around, but we're just copying the same pattern here, so place those ones down there, and then we should have the same set of 4 blocks. So if we leave one space there on the bottom, kind of fill in that path, we do the same on the top. It should give quite a nice symmetrical look when we end up then filling in this center part. So while that builds, I'll throw down some more low residential. Now a couple have spawned in a bit too short, but let's do the path first, then we'll come back and fix that. Then we'll just go from road to road there, do the same on the top, and then maybe connect them on the back garden area on the row houses. And then we'll just go ahead and we'll fill in this space with some trees. So I think that's all we need for tree placement. It's only supposed to be kind of a nice communal park rather than a more formal gardens, so that's fine. I wonder if we can connect the path to the back of these houses though, because they do have a little path coming off the back. We'll try that. It's a bit hard to actually tell when the overlay from the zoning is there, but we'll place it. We'll use the 90-degree tool on here, and then we can back out and see if it works or not. I have a feeling it's the path that we're placing is a bit too wide on the shadow blocks that there. Yeah, it is. So at least double the width there. So maybe we'll come back and use the developer tools when we go through some more detailing later. But probably not worth doing the detailing now since we'll move things. So instead, we'll start placing some of our bits we've unlocked. So here's the clinic. Fits nicely in that gap, but we're not going to be able to get a road there. I think maybe we'll turn that into a park instead later. So place the clinic there, and then we'll use our crematorium. That doesn't fit in the clinic, unfortunately, but if we put it just the other side of the road, it's got good connections for both of those. Now there's upgrades on both. Probably not going to take any of them now, just because obviously it's only a tiny village, or just about a tiny village. Should upgrade shortly. And we don't really need the upgrades yet, but worth bearing in mind for later. The other thing we unlocked was this rock musician mansion, but don't really have a good place to put this now, so I'll save that one for later. So next thing we're going to start is the landfill. So obviously we'll put that up in the industrial area. Back up, just thinking about where exactly to put it, whether it's better on the other side instead. Oh, and we fit small village. So that's education unlocked, but we'll save that one for the next video. Yeah, I mean, it's worth
always checking the air pollution before you end up placing your landfill. So we've got ground pollution there, and then air pollution. So you can see the wind is all going to kind of top right over the mountain. So perfectly fine to actually put it in either side, but because it's not really going to blow back into the residential area. So if we place the landfill down here, and now the road layout is slightly wider than what this landfill center is, so maybe if we bring another road down, we can connect it back up to that 4-lane and then place the landfill off that new lane we've created. There we go. Oh, actually worth making sure we align it correctly. So we'll come back and delete that later, but there we go. Now it's lined up perfectly. Obviously you can go all the way up to the red boundary if you want to make the most of the landfill capacity, and it's the same system across all of these placeables, like in the specific industries you can use. But for now, we're kind of just going to fit around the terrain as it suits, because we'll likely end up moving some of these bits before they have their final settling place. So there we go. That's complete. That's all we'd need to do to get it working. But if we delete that road, we can actually just fill in some of that gap, just to make the most of the area that we're not going to ultimately use for anything else anyway. So it can be a little fiddly, but if you start adding extra nodes, then you can start going around some of the features that are already there. Now, it's not really possible to go around the round, sharp corners, but we can get it quite close. There's only a small amount of wasted space there. And just to check on the power. Yeah, so 3.5 megawatts, so it's not too much that we're currently importing. Obviously, it's still a small village. We'll look to add some power next time as well. Just thinking it's actually worth, if we extend this landfill to go around the other side. Again, not really going to use this space otherwise, so let's extend that there. We'll square it off. Yes, and that should be more than enough for us to get going with when we can place this road around the outside for when we extend our industrial area down that direction. Again, upgrades on this building as well, but not really needed. We're not going to look to fill it up anywhere near. So residential area is pretty much all fill up. Same with the commercial. But you'll see the industrial area that we placed in the north, that's still, yeah, not quite full. Let's just check the demand. So you have residential, high, some commercial, very little industrial. So I think that's the plan for next time.